Galena, you mentioned you are mid-30s. You mentioned you are very happy with being single. You run your own business. You said backstage like you don't really care about dating and relationships. It's not something that you do, you're interested in, but you also want to get married and have kids one day. So when does that start? You're on mute, by the way.
A
She's
man
good.
There
who,
you go.
yep, that is gonna be start when I find a man who match my personality. Because I already know, what I want, and I already know what will be the best for me. Because for me, life for sharing is not only to have someone next to your side. Also, you have to match the personality and both inside to being happy. 50-50, let's say like that.
But you're not
Because
dating, you said though. So how are you going to find a guy if you're not out there in the world dating?
I'm not dating a man who I see that I would destroy their life. That's why I don't dating. When I see
What?
was that, yes, like I don't dating because when I see the man is not for me and I know what will be happen, because I don't want to hurt nobody. And but this always happen on the end.
What do you so you end up hurting the guys that you date? How so?
Yeah, I don't want to hurt nobody because like the men's I don't know how is this to another, but to me really like when I start date someone, of course we have to date before something to start to happen. Cannot happen from the first date. When you start date with someone on the first date, they start talking me for children, wife, married, and I go crazy, like I go scared and I say how we can marry someone on the first day you just met, like you don't even I don't know even your family, I don't know nothing about you, like you are maybe wasn't in the prison years ago, I don't know nothing, maybe you are some mafia, I don't know what's going on, and that means always make me scared. I say okay, stop. And when I give up, like I say stop, I don't want to date again because I don't feel good with that man. For example, the example, this is even a real situation.
So
Then
men that
they
you're
always,
dating are trying to rush into serious stuff too
yes,
early for you. Okay.
they're
So
going
like
obsessed.
so if that's not what you want, like you say, you know what the kind of guy you want, you know what, he should bring to the table. Like so what are some of those things? Like what is the kind of guy that you're going for? Like who's the guy that you would want to date or that you would consider getting married to and having kids with? Like what does that kind of guy look like?
I have to be smart because I don't like stupid men. You have to be smart. Like
Okay.
sorry to say this, yeah, because
Okay.
this
He has
is
to be
what I
smart.
want. Yes,
What
have to be
else?
smart. You have to be full with the value inside, like good person,
Okay.
integrity person,
Okay.
not liar, serious person. He have to be smart enough to have his already life on his side or to work on this to happen, like because in those days, especially here in London, most of the men they are carry self to look pretty, to find a woman to look after them. This type of men, I don't want to see them and got to protect every woman from this type of men that they're waiting for a woman to look after them. He also have to be creative because I'm creative person as well, like if something finish on the business and cannot happen money from somewhere, then I start creative something and again starting again, always trying to grow. You have to feel the same way. And the most important thing is to not jealous like a crazy, because most of the my boyfriends I had in my life, they wasn't jealous a lot for stupid things, because
Like what?
I'm the woman that always going on the business meeting and I'm meeting with the men that we gonna go to do something on the future. And I don't want someone that you're gonna come and say, oh, why you were with him, blah 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 blah, stupid things that makes me crazy, and then I meant everything. Because really, I'm always trying. I never see a man for the business meeting to have something with them. I'm always sitting only for the business. He have to trust me as well, and I have to
Well,
trust him. It's a
the
lot of
kind of
things.
guy, yeah, well, but here's kind of where the problem lies, right? Because the kind of guy that you're describing, the kind of guy that's smart and he's a go-getter and he's doing his own stuff and he has to, I mean, we didn't talk about the money aspect, but he probably has to be more successful than you because you want to get like girls want a guy that's better than them. They don't want a guy that's on their level or below. Like you want a guy that makes more money than you, he's smarter than you, he's a better leader than you. I'm assuming based on women, but it's if generally what those kind of guys want, these guys that are crushing it, running their own businesses, they don't need help. Like they don't need another income contributing to the house. Like what they're looking for is these dudes are out all day doing business deals. They're working 80 hours a week. they want to come home to a nice, pleasant woman who is ready to run them a hot shower and a hot meal and rub their feet so they can kick up their, and relax for a couple hours an evening. So it's like, how do you reconcile that? Like, how, if that's what those guys want, like if the average, if highly successful guys, because men generally don't care about a woman's level of success. They don't care about her income generally. They don't really care about her degrees or her businesses. They don't really care about that stuff. When I say they don't care, I just mean they don't view it as attractive. Women see that stuff as very attractive for men, but men don't really find that stuff attractive. That's not what brings them value. They want feminine presence. They want someone that can add value to their life. So if that's the kind of guy that you want, how are you going to compete with also younger women that are in more fertile years? Like, how are you going to compete with younger women that are just all about being pleasant and taking care of the home and like raising kids?
The connection is go wrong. Can you repeat the question, please? Because
I don't even know if I could. I'll try to simplify it. So the guy that you're describing, good looking, attractive, makes good money, probably a business owner, probably has to do better than you, right? Has to be making more money, probably more educated than you. You want to be able to look up to a guy. You with me so far? You don't want a guy that's like on your level, definitely not a guy that's below you.
No, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good if you are in the same level. Because if he's higher than me, then it's not gonna be good. If he's lower than me, again, it's not going good. Because
But
it's a
women
couple of
generally
different
don't date
things.
like that though. Like you don't want to look across and see an equal. Like you want to be able to look up to your man, don't you? Like you don't want to see a guy because then here's the thing too. If you're both on the same level, then how do you make decisions? Who leads the relationship? If
Both.
you're both equal, how? How can two people lead one? How can two people lead a relationship?
It's gonna be happen. I don't know how it will happen.
So that's a fair answer. I don't know. That's okay. That's fair. But let's just assume that, because this is what people generally don't like to admit or they don't like to talk about when it comes to relationships, is that women generally don't date men they certainly don't date men below them for the most part. They generally will put up with a guy that's on their level, granted that he's transcending that level. But if women had their way, ideally, they're dating a guy that's above them, or they want to go a guy that's above them, because that's how women operate. So if that's the case, if that's the kind of guy that you want, or like, let's see, even if it's a guy that's on your level, like, I don't know what your level of success is. Let's say it's a guy on your level. Let's say you are wildly successful as an entrepreneur. I don't know if you are. If you are, congrats. Let's say that you are. Your male counterpart is generally not looking for his female equivalent as far as like a business owner and a CEO. He's looking for younger, probably less educated women that are focused on being pleasant, cooking, cleaning, doing more traditional jobs. So if those are the men that you're going for and they're going for different way, like, how are you going to compete with these women is what I'm getting at. How are you competing with the younger women that are focused on more traditional roles if that's what high level men want?
I don't know. I don't think on the same way how you think.
What do you mean?
Because the most men that are successful, trust me, they see on the woman level. They're not gonna go show their self if this woman is not successful, or it's kindly woman who is cooking at the home. They're not gonna show that type of woman. They always see a woman who is already made herself, because they're, how to say, they're proud to show that type of woman, because
No,
they're
they don't
proud
care
that
about
she's
that, Galina.
smart.
They're not looking for women that are like high level, high powered men are generally not looking to date high level, high powered women that are running business. I mean, again, like
But they give their
if you
attention to that type of woman.
if what?
They give their attention to that type of woman.
Well, why are you single? If that's the case, like if you're successful and men want successful women, then where's your man?
I'm single because I broke 2 months ago. Like, let's say I'm rest now. I'm in my rest because I'm focused on different things that I'm doing. And right now, in that moment, I cannot put no one man next to me because it's gonna be
All
broke
right.
my process of
I
work.
want to. I want to ask one more question. Then and we'll move on to Ivania because you've been very patient. Like again, mid-30s, 35. You say you want to get married and have kids. If you know any basic biology around women aging and fertility, the odds are not in your favor. Like time is not on your side. So what's ultimately the plan there? You like, if I don't have kids, it's okay. Do you definitely want to have kids? Like, what's the plan?
No, it's okay for me. Even if I don't have, I don't care.
So you're good if you don't have kids.
Like, I don't care because I can adopt the kids. That's not the big problem on my eyes. Because when you adopt, even you're gonna do something good for someone.
So are
Like
you willing
kids,
to
not
adopt
only to
kids as
be
a single mother?
no, as a single mother. Of course, I'm gonna get married.
Well,
Not
are you
now.
aware that most men want to have their own kids? That men are generally averse to adopting children and men have a biological imperative to have children of their own? There's
No,
not a
and
lot. There's men out there. There are very few men out there that are these type of caliber of men that are making money, high powered, high status jobs that want to adopt children. They want to have their own kids.
depends. If Spain is divorced and have already some kids, I don't think you'll have the problem. Like to look
Okay.
after his kids, or I how to explain. Now the
Okay.
medicine is so modern. You can even make a kids in 15 years old, especially here in London. And America is same. I don't think it's not
I mean, all
possible.
that stuff is like highly subjective. I mean, IVF and freezing
Depends
eggs and things
with
like that
everything.
are, yeah, but like success rates of things like freezing eggs and IVF, like it hasn't reached any rates where people would say it's like a certainty. But anyway,
All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.